Can you buy privacy with money? According to a court document cited by Reuters on Friday, Facebook's parent company Meta has offered to settle a protracted privacy class action lawsuit in the Northern District of California connected to the Cambridge Analytica controversy. When asked by Meta for comment, a representative for the technological behemoth refused to comment at this time. Facebook acknowledged that the third-party data company may have accessed data on up to 87 million users in 2018, when the news caused the internet giant's share price to soar. When Zuckerberg was invited to testify before Congress in 2018 regarding the issue, he gave several evasive answers that begged for forensic follow-ups. It was like talking to a brick wall. The Meta CEO and former COO Sheryl Sandberg will be questioned as part of a lawsuit filed on behalf of Facebook users in California. Facebook and its parent company Meta are not bothered by this massive reputational damage. Welcome to the Incredible channel, where we learn something new every day. Make sure to drop this video a like and subscribe to the channel. Without further delay, let's dive right in. Mark Zuckerberg, CEO of the Facebook parent company Meta, faced a 6-hour testimony over how the company managed user data concerning the Cambridge Analytica scandal. The deposition relates to a lawsuit brought in a California court by Facebook users who were affected by the social media site collaboration with Cambridge Analytica, a consultancy accused of misusing their data. The organisation collaborated with the Donald Trump campaign team, as The Guardian reported in 2018, and acquired the personal information of 50 million Facebook users, which was then used to create voter profiles. The business was also involved in the UK's 2016 Brexit vote. As part of the discovery process, Sheryl Sandberg, who left her post as the platform's chief operating officer in June, will also be subjected to more than 5 hours of deposition interviews. Javier Olivan, who took over the position after her, has also been named in the lawsuit and might be questioned for up to 3 hours. According to papers, additional witnesses may be called during the depositions, including Platform Partnership Executive Konstantinos Papamatiliadis, former Director of Product Management Eddie O'Neill, and Facebook Privacy Officer Rob Sherman. A witness speaks under oath at a deposition in a civil matter while being recorded verbatim by a court reporter. Usually, the side taking the deposit has it recorded at their law office. The witness is testifying under penalty of perjury because the testimony was given under oath. According to Robert Frenchman, a partner at the New York law firm Mukasey Frenchman, the use of time limits during depositions in civil lawsuits is uncommon. However, plaintiffs' attorneys would welcome the chance to cross-examine the CEO and former COO. Plaintiffs savour the opportunity to cross-examine C-suite executives, and they'll have free rein on a broad range of topics. For the corporate defendant, there is far more to lose than gain, he said. Plaintiffs have collected hundreds of exhibits from the firm dating back 13 years during the case's discovery process. Facebook has retaliated against the in-depth inquiry, calling the plaintiffs' actions constant and continuous overreach in a court filing. The lawsuit might shed new light on the Cambridge Analytica debacle, which devastated the company's reputation and resulted in congressional hearings where Mark Zuckerberg was interrogated for hours about Facebook's data privacy practices. In an interview with CNBC, shortly after his attempt to add Zuckerberg to the complaint was rejected, District of Columbia Attorney General Karl Racine explained that his office required the additional time from the lawsuit's initial filing date to gather evidence from the company and become convinced that the CEO should be held personally accountable for the alleged consumer protection violations. Due to the public outcry over the Facebook data privacy incident, Cambridge Analytica closed its doors, and Facebook paid a considerable penalty at the end of 2018. Along with Bannon, Donald Trump's hand-picked National Security Advisor John Bolton also had connections to Cambridge Analytica. After digging more into the relationship between Bolton and Cambridge Analytica, The Times revealed that John Bolton had received early versions of the company's profiles from Facebook. With this knowledge, John Bolton's Super PAC backed candidates that produced and exploited Cambridge Analytica-created advertisements. Another article from The Times was published about a purported collaboration between Palantir and Cambridge Analytica. The report said that despite the contract falling through, a Palantir staffer continued collaborating with Cambridge to gather Facebook data to create psychographic profiles of American voters. This was significant because Donald's ally and backer, Peter Thiel, established Palantir Technologies. 5 days after the controversy broke, Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Facebook and the owner of the largest communication platform in the world, addressed the public. Naturally, everyone expected him to speak up immediately, but it surprised them when he didn't for almost a week. Later, during a hearing, senators probed Zuckerberg on various topics relating to the company's privacy procedures and commercial operations. Facebook's monopoly over the communications platforms was also addressed. According to sources, the US Federal Trade Commission, or the FTC, approved a $5 billion settlement with Facebook as of July 2019 due to its investigations into how the social media giant handled the data of its users. The FTC has been looking into claims that Facebook shared data on 87 million users with a now defunct Cambridge Analytica, a British political consulting firm. The investigation focused on determining if Facebook had broken a 2011 agreement it had with the FTC. As the highest fine the FTC has ever imposed against a digital business, the Justice Department's Civil Division was required to finalise the settlement terms, while the FTC penalised Facebook. Facebook was reportedly accused of spreading false material on its platform in addition to the data privacy controversy. Additionally, the public demanded that the government compel Facebook to sell WhatsApp and Instagram, which the company bought in 2012 and 2014 respectively. Famous figures like Steve Wozniak, a co-founder of Apple, another internet titan, urged people to find a way to unsubscribe from Facebook in response to the incident. Facebook had to face some more severe allegations in April 2021. This new scandal involved the theft of data from 500 million of its users. Personal information about the users, such as their full names, phone numbers, and email addresses, were also obtained. The hackers subsequently uploaded the data for public viewing and unrestricted usage. After the Times reported Cambridge gathered data of millions of its users to mark voters with political ads in the 2016 elections, Facebook had pledged to crack down on mass data scraping. The latest controversy sabotaged Facebook's trustworthiness and reliability. It makes people doubt Facebook's credibility and gives Steve Wozniak's statements serious thought. The newest controversy highlights how all accountability systems have failed and still fail. Facebook has already been embroiled in controversies, including those involving Cambridge Analytica and the atrocities in Myanmar. However, this year's spate of errors and discoveries may have reached a breaking point for the corporation and its reputation. The employee turned whistleblower, Frances Haugen's disclosure of internal documents revealed some of Facebook's inner workings and how much the corporation knew about its platform's negative impacts on users and society may have had the most influence on the firm this year. The Wall Street Journal was the first to publish Haugen's disclosures, which demonstrated Facebook was aware of its many severe adverse effects on public health and had the means to alleviate them, but chose not to. Documents, for instance, reveal that Facebook examined the detrimental effects Instagram had on adolescent girls, but did little to lessen the damages and publicly claimed that this was the case. Congress called business executives to many hearings on the site and young users. Since then, Facebook has put on hold its ambitions to release a kid-friendly Instagram app and added additional security features that urge users to take breaks if they use the app for extended periods. The executive of Instagram, Adam Mosseri, rejected requests for Instagram to self-regulate in a Senate hearing on December 8th by urging Congress to establish a separate organisation with broad authority to oversee social media. Haugen also claimed that the Capitol attack may have been caused by changes Facebook made to its algorithm, which disabled several measures to combat misinformation. She gave data demonstrating how little of its resources are devoted to regulating content in languages other than English. Congress has pledged legislation in response to the Haugen documents and has proposed several new proposals to curb Facebook's influence. One contentious proposal would attack Section 230 of the Communications Decency Act, which shields businesses from responsibility for material posted on their platforms. Whistleblower Sophie Zhang. In 2021, Haugen wasn't the only whistleblower to challenge Facebook. In April, Sophie Zhang, a former Facebook data scientist who has become a whistleblower, disclosed to The Guardian that Facebook had routinely permitted politicians and international leaders to use their platform to mislead the public or intimidate rivals. Since then, Zhang has been asked to appear before parliaments in the UK and India over these findings. International lawmakers are anxious to hear from the Facebook leakers. Haugen also gave testimony about the documents she released to MPs in the UK, saying that Facebook prioritises business over safety. Facebook's era as a Silicon Valley champion has ended. It is now the target of cross-party derision as it continues to face calls for accountability. Facebook has been criticised by both liberals and Republicans for its monopolistic tendencies and failure to control misinformation. Republicans have regularly accused the platform of being biased towards conservatism. Concerning vaccine information, which Joe Biden claimed was killing people, and which the US Surgeon General claimed was spreading like wildfire on the platform, the Biden administration started to take a firmer approach with the corporation in July. Meanwhile, Facebook was in trouble after Lina Khan, a leading proponent of antitrust, was named director of the FTC. Facebook has made sort of a Hail Mary after a year of turmoil by changing its name. The business declared that it will henceforth go by the title Meta in honour of its upcoming Metaverse initiative, which will build a virtual world where people may hang out. Critics responded to the name change with mockery and suspicion, but it still needs to be determined whether Facebook, under any other name, will surpass the reputation it currently enjoys. In the past few years, Meta/Facebook has faced severe allegations. Somehow, it was evident that Facebook and Meta management were not bothered by its reputational damage. The true impact of Meta's reputational damage won't be advertisers abandoning the service. Instead, most likely, it will be a hit to the company's hiring and retention. According to the New York Times, when whistleblower Frances Haugen released hundreds of embarrassing internal documents regarding the company, Meta gave employees advice on how to discuss it with their families. Not a pleasant thought. Zuckerberg said many of the claims made by Haugen and in the Wall Street Journal, based on documents she leaked, don't make any sense. In recent years, data breaches have grown far too familiar. Alongside Facebook, other tech companies such as eBay, LinkedIn, and Adobe have been helpless to hackers in recent years. People typically sign up for respectable companies like Facebook, expecting that their data is secure and won't be utilised arbitrarily. Therefore, when individuals learn that their personal information has been exposed and misused, it is a grave breach of trust and privacy. Social networking sites must take the initiative and alert their users so that they are vigilant enough. Users should look out for phishing scams that could utilise their personal information fraudulently. Make sure to let us know your thoughts down below. Subscribe to the channel as a sacrifice to the gods of the algorithm. Thanks for watching.